All right, here we are with episode 70 of the Orioles Out of the Park 21. Whoa there, went blank for a minute. Out of the Park 21 and episode 70. Not going to be quite as nice as the last episode, but I'll do my best. This is just an overview of my minor league system. I'm just going to look at some of my prospects. So as you can see, this is opening day 2029. The prospect rankings just updated. I've got the top farm system in baseball, really because I have two of the top 5 prospects, as well as another one at 18, another one at 22, and then the 90th best prospect. So I'm not going to go through the list here. What I'm going to do is go to the prospect pipeline and show you by position kind of how my prospects shape up, and you'll see that I have a ton of outfield prospects. It's kind of absurd. So here we go. So start with pitcher. And the one thing that's quite strange is my top pitching prospect from the last 2 to 3 years, who is still rated high and is still the best player on my AAA team, for some reason is not rated in my top 54 pitching prospects. So he's been it's got to be some kind of glitch. So you can see here, what's going on, sorry about that. I think I'm uploading or saving a different video behind the screen here, and it's causing my computer to slow down maybe. So Ben Schilt is really my top pitching prospect, but for some reason not listed. So last year he was the number 85 prospect in baseball just back in October, and here we are in March. He's still really good. He put up 4.8 WAR in Norfolk for me last year. He will be up at some point this year, and he will likely be in my rotation, hopefully for a while. He's 26. He was a first-round pick in 2025. So that's my top pitching prospect. Now I'll go back to the pipeline. I don't think the pipeline is missing anybody else major other than Schilt for some reason. I'm not sure. I've never seen that happen before. He hasn't had any major league service time, so he's still qualified. And then I'll just highlight some of the top guys here. So Ozzy Obregon, he was an international free agent signing for me last year in 2028, and he's number 90 prospect in baseball. He's just 19. He's going to get his first taste of rookie ball. As you can see, his current is so low that he can end up being a bust. Who knows? But certainly a pretty decent-looking pitching prospect at this point. And then, so let's go ahead and look. Emilio Caldera is my number 2 pitching prospect. And so Caldera will start this year in Delmarva in A-ball. He was a scouting discovery back in 2024 and was really not thought of to be much of anything. You can see my scout rated him as a 20 when I signed him. He threw max of 85. And then all of a sudden in 2026, he started getting better. You can see better. And he's still improving. So maybe his ceiling is going to continue to go even higher. So he'll start the year in A-ball for me this year. He had a good season in low A as a 19-year-old. He put up 1.4 WAR. He's looking like a solid piece for me. And then I've got Jake Crozier, who's 22. He was a draft pick last year. Same with Pat Paul. And that kind of rounds out my top pitching prospect. I think guys like Voogd, Groves, Walters, Brents is on my team this year. All these guys could make a difference for me at some point coming up. But those are my top pitching prospects. At catcher, there's not a lot going on right now in terms of none of these guys are if they're in the top 500, there'd be a number here. But I think some of these guys are possible major league contributors. Trujillo is 25. He's going to be my catcher in Norfolk. Looks pretty solid, potential of 55, but he's very good defensively. I think he's at least a backup catcher for me at some point. And then moving down the list, Dan Zimmerman, I think if he could get his defense better, is definitely a piece for me moving forward. My first-round pick in 2025. He's still only 22. He's going to start the year in high A ball. Last year in regular A, he put up a 101 OPS plus and 1.7 WAR in 107 games. Just needs to get this catching up. But if this bat develops, I think he could be a decent catcher for me. So he's a piece to keep an eye on. DeLucia was a 17th round pick in 2025 and might not. I mean, he's got really good defensive rating, so he could develop into a good catcher, but his bat might not get him there. But he ripped it up in low A last year in Aberdeen, a 154 OPS plus. If he can develop his bat just a little better, he could be a piece because he's so good defensively. Saul Mel is a draft pick from like 2022. He could be a solid backup catcher in the majors. Jamal Botts is a guy who I'm going to keep an eye on because he had a really good year last year, and his catcher ability is 75. But he put up a 128 OPS plus last year in rookie ball, and he's only 20 years old. So he's going to start the year in low A. We'll see how he does. With that catcher ability, man, if that defense could be good, his bat doesn't need to be all that great to be a major league player. First base. So Armendariz is listed as a first base, actually a second baseman. He's listed as a first base because I temporarily changed his position just to give him more flexibility. But really, Gaines is my top first base prospect, and he's not much of a prospect at this point. I mean, he still looks like he could be decent, but look at what he's done in rookie ball. 27, 46, and an 83 OPS plus. So finally, I just promoted him to low A, even though he hasn't done anything because he's 21 now. We'll see how he does. 8th round pick from 2026. Not holding out a lot of hope based off his performance so far. I think Townsend could be potentially a decent bat for me, even though he can't field. He's crushed the ball so far in 2 years. He's only 20 and he's in A ball, 201 OPS plus in rookie ball, 145 OPS plus in low A. So he could be another guy. Packard, I don't hold out a ton of hope for right now. Holloway is that guy who's learning first base, an outfielder with a good bat. Yantz is a decent prospect. Shannon, but none of these guys are like marquee prospects. Oops, I just clicked the wrong thing. So that's first base. Now second base, Armendariz really is actually a second base prospect, so he would be my top prospect here. After that, I've got a few decent guys. Danny Martis could potentially be a major league player for me just based off of his glove over here. I think maybe he could be a bench player. He's going to start the year in Frederick in high A. He was an 18th round pick in 2025 and had a league average bat in Delmarva last year. If he can continue to have a league average bat at each level and his glove continues to develop, he could be a utility guy. And then we've also got Rashu Sato, who is all the way down in rookie ball. And he was a third-round pick in 2028 and really didn't play much last year, so I'm leaving him in rookie ball again since he's only 19 and bombed in rookie ball last year. But my scout still thinks pretty highly of him, but not much more going on at second base. Again, Armendariz is the big piece here. He's my second baseman in the future. He's the number 3 prospect in baseball. Third base, I've got 2 recent prospects and then a bunch of guys who are pretty iffy, probably, I'd say. Jake Stovall will be in low A this year, which he's only 20. That's why I'm having him repeat because he ripped up rookie ball last year, first 33 games. I promoted him to low A and he didn't do anything. So I'm going to leave him there to start the year and then probably promote him to A ball late in the year. But he's my second round pick from 2027, 63rd overall. Looking like he could still be a great bat. He's going to need to develop this avoid Ks because of this poor eye. I mean, he did strike out 24% of the time in low A last year, which isn't terrible, but it's not great when you're playing at that low of a level. And then the next legit third base prospect is Rob Colgate, first round pick in 2028, 28th overall. Was not good in rookie ball last year, and since he's only 19 years old, I'm going to leave him there again this year. If guys are under like 20, I will have them repeat rookie or low A ball if they've sucked. Yeah. Some people might not recommend you do that. That's how I do it. A couple other decent names here. Ayash is a guy that I got in a trade over the offseason, and he's hit everywhere he's played. He's not thought of to be a great prospect, but he can play the corners, and I don't have much depth at either corner, so he could factor into my major league plans at some point. Jonathan Beeman is another name that stands out. Can't remember why. 8th round pick from 2025. Was not very good in low A last year, but I did promote him to A ball, so we'll see what happens with him. And then shortstop. Chris Sandoval is my top shortstop prospect. and I drafted in the 5th round in 2026, and he had 2 really bad years in rookie ball and then was very good in low A last year. Put up 1.6 WAR, 111 OPS plus. We'll start the year in Delmarva and A ball. Looking like a potentially promising piece at shortstop, which is huge to have. And now we will go to outfielders, where I am stocked. As you can see, I didn't have more than 1 or 2 guys in the top 500 at any position other than pitcher, and then outfield, where I have 12 prospects in the top 365 and 3 in the top 22. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. Mike Angeletta is listed as a center fielder. He's actually an infield prospect, probably a second base or shortstop. I'll just show you him first. This is an infield prospect. I'm just getting a center field rating up, but he's going to be a second baseman or shortstop for me. He's a first-round pick from 2023, moving his way up through the system. We'll get his first look in Norfolk this series on the 40-man. Will probably factor into my major league team this season. So then we get into the studs, man. The number 5 prospect in baseball, Julio Concepcion, center field prospect. He'll start the year in Frederick in high A. I need him to work on his outfield ratings here. I need him to get up. I mean, he could be a 55 or 60 at every outfield position with these ratings. Last year, he split the year between low A and regular A. He crushed low A and then did very well in Delmarva in A ball. So now he'll go up to high A in the Carolina League. Number 5 prospect in baseball. Got him as an international free agent signing in 2026. Still just 20 years old. Next, we have got Franklin Sanchez, the number 18 prospect in baseball. And as you can see, he's a gold glover at all 3 positions. Good bat without much power. Struggled in high A last year at the bat a bit. I mean, not struggled, but was league average. But he's up in Bowie. He's 22. He was an international free agent signing in 2023. And then we've got Ben Ortega, who looks super legit. Another guy, I'd like to get his outfield ratings up with how good his defensive ratings are. Looking like a potentially very good bat. He's just 21, ripped it up between A and high A last year, OPS plus around 130. He put up like over 4 WAR. So, I mean, Bowie is looking stocked between Sanchez, Ortega, and then this guy, Ricky Perez, who's the number 176 prospect. So if you want to see some good outfield prospects, head to Bowie this year. Perez, last year, split time between Delmarva and Frederick. He put up a 185 OPS plus in Delmarva and a 188 in Frederick. So, I mean, he's a corner outfielder. He's not going to be more than the corner, but holy crap, that bat's been good. He's 21. My scout found him somewhere when he was like 16 years old. I don't know where he signed him out of the Dominican Republic. Okay. So there's Perez, and then, man, so many guys here. Jeff O'Brien is in low A. He was a first-round pick, I believe, in 2027. Hasn't really put it together yet, but a good prospect. Then we got Angeletta. Luis Cosme is in low A. Had a great year in rookie ball last year. He's 20. He was an international free agent signing in 2025, the age of 16. Grady is on my major league team as my 4th outfielder. We got Jerry Ferris, my man here. Jerry Ferris will be in Frederick, looking like a gold glover potentially at all 3 positions. He'll be in Delmarva. He's a 4th-round pick from 2025. We got Gene Riddle here, and Gene Riddle will be in Bowie, where he will struggle for playing time with all the outfielders there. But 2nd-round pick in 2025, and looking like maybe a 4th outfield type guy. And then Arias, Kramer is on my major league team. And, man, the list goes on. Like, so many of these guys have had great seasons in the minors that, like, I don't know. I am pretty stacked here. I mean, I don't know. Like, Jim Gast, the 44th best outfielder in my organization last year in Aberdeen, put up a 104 OPS plus. Now, he's looking like he's not going to be a good major leaguer. But, to have somebody who's a 26th-round pick put up that kind of year in the minor leagues is pretty good. That's kind of the squad, man. Tim Bird is another name that jumps out as somebody who's had a good year for me. Yeah, he had a 117 OPS plus last year in low A. He's an A ball. He's an 11th-round pick from 2026. He has 25 though. So yeah, I feel like I've got a good pitching pipeline. I am stacked at outfield, and then after that, it's a little hit or miss. That's just kind of the way it goes. And so, yeah, that's my minor league system. People were wanting to know more about my prospects and minor leaguers. Hopefully that was what you guys had in mind. I don't know. Let me know if that's kind of the overview you guys were asking for. For those of you who commented wanted more minor league stuff, and I'll try to give you any more stuff that I might not have covered that you'd like in another minor league update. But that's it for now.